Hey there and welcome back to another Miraculous Ladybug Season 2 retrospective review. And we have come to a big time episode of the franchise, Glaciator, the introductory episode of my nemesis character, Andre the Ice Cream Man. A man so pathetic as to get akumatized when two real-life teenagers he ships are not buying his ice cream or going on dates or dating the right people. And it's also the episode that I've pointed to when I discussed the beginning of the downfall of Cat Noir. This episode in and of itself is actually a banger from what I remember. Granted, I haven't rewatched it yet at this stage. But in the aftermath of this episode, I feel like Cat Noir became more and more of a dweeb, always pushing hard to get Ladybug to date him or kiss him or whatnot, and started to be less useful to the team as a whole, declining throughout much of Season 2, 3, and 4, recovering slightly in Season 5 and then becoming cringe at the finish line. But enough about that, we have an episode to watch, and this one is a classic, so let's get into it. This is Glaciator. Okay, so we start off the episode a little bit differently from normal. We have our heroes out doing hero things, but instead of the standard fighting an akumatized villain, our heroes are chasing down a bus that's brakes seem to have failed and is speeding out of control. These type of things always amuse me because, well, the bus has clearly been going long enough for Ladybug and Cat Noir to have found out about it and chase it down, and it hasn't crashed yet. And in the show, it seems like all the streets are flat. Plus, traffic means that it's not like this thing was going 100 miles per hour anyway. You're in the CBD, son. And on top of that, you're a bus. So surely all the bus driver has to do is just not put his foot on the accelerator, and eventually the bus is going to start to slow down because that's what happens when you're driving on a flat surface. So yeah, this bus driver must just be incompetent. But no worries, because Ladybug and Cat Noir have a foolproof plan. They pretty much tie up the bus with the yo-yo string, which is also tied to Cat Noir's staff, which is wedged between two lampposts, and thus the bus stops like it's Spider-Man stopping a train. Also, how strong are these lampposts? Jesus, what are they made of? Titanium? And I mean, the yo-yo rope is tied around the actual glass of the windows. Doesn't even crack it? What is this, military grade glass? Whew. Also, very lucky there's such minimal traffic in the Paris CBD. Regardless, this is just there to set the scene and give our heroes some interaction to set up Cat Noir shooting his shot, asking Ladybug to join him that evening for a rooftop dinner. And she clearly rejects him, but the delusion is strong within the mind of the simp. Seriously, here's a life lesson. As soon as you ask somebody out and you hear, it's time to pack your things, go home, and just forget it ever happened. Does this man have absolutely no shame? She even tells him she's doing something else that night, and the dude still doesn't get the hint. Oof. We then cut to Marinette at home with her parents, and by the sounds of it, she's cooked them dinner. And I gotta say, my God, Tom's size is whack. The dude obviously needs plus size counters to be at normal height for him. But look at Sabine! Oh, Sabine, look at her. Look how far her feet are off the ground. I swear that bench would be at head height for her. My God. But yeah, Tom has made a bangin' dessert, but Marinette can't enjoy even a little bit of it because she's off to the Ice Cream Man, a man who's seemingly been doing this for a very long time because he was still doing it when Tom and Sabine got engaged. So, a long time ago. Also, no idea what that dessert is, but I need it. It looks so yummy. Hell yeah. We then cut over to Adrien, whose life sucks. His dad has not allowed him to go out and eat ice cream with his friends, and on top of that, can't even be bothered to eat dinner with him. Also, this scene is just a reminder to everybody that Natalie's redemption is a crock of shit. She is actively aiding Gabe in his neglect of his son. She doesn't even comfort the poor kid or give him any food. She just tells him to make sure to play piano before he goes to bed. Damn. I'm sure Emily would be so happy about that. And so Adrien heads back to his room, and it seems the poor bastard's in denial that Ladybug's even going to turn up at all. Like I said, the dude is lost in that simp mindset, and he's heading for catastrophe. And we see this when the episode cuts back to him after we go back to Marinette for a little while, and he's on a rooftop. He's set up rose petals and candles. Oh no! All for a girl that ain't coming. Whew! And he's doing this in full view of the public. Like, you can see windows and balconies across the way. Imagine seeing a famous superhero get stood up. That'd get filmed, and it would be viral for all time. But here, we arrive at him. Andre. Turns out the dude is very difficult to find. He has no set location, and you need to follow clues that he leaves in order to find his cart. So how do you reckon he did that back in the day? Like, before the days of everybody having connected devices in their pockets and apps and all that. Did he have to leave clues in the newspaper classifieds? And so off they go to find Andre. And I gotta be honest, but I think that considering how famous this guy is, the dude would surely have a huge horde of people that would swarm that bridge to get a scoop, right? He'd be a fad, lines around the block. This kind of shit always is. Also, he has a song? I must have blocked that out. It is weird. Also, real talk, I don't think it's ever addressed after this episode, but is he magic? Like, some of the shit he says to Marinette implies that he knows stuff about her. Stuff he shouldn't be able to know.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
But yeah, the song, very dramatic. And then the squad arrives on the scene, ready for some ice cream. With both couples getting one to share, but Marinette initially being too sad that Adrian's not there. Too sad for ice cream! Too sad. What is the world coming to? Where innocent, sad little ice creams are being left all alone. Poor little thing, look at it. She gets its hopes up that somebody's gonna eat it. How could you? And like, just get one for yourself. Why wouldn't you? Hell yeah. Me and my girlfriend going to this place, we're getting one each of this cut, thanks. Load me up, Andre, 3 scoops apiece. Also, bit presumptuous to think that Adrian would even want to share his scoops with you in the first place, especially when this is a known thing that couples do. I get shooting your shot, but this is a one-way ticket to Adrian saying out loud in front of everybody, "Oh no, she's just a very good friend." And that would have been a disaster. A Marinette gets akumatized level disaster. Andre then gives her an ice cream, seemingly for free by the way, because I've seen no hint of cash changing hands, no FPOS machine, but Marinette refuses it because, well, I guess it is presumptuous to tell, not ask, but tell people that they're in love with somebody. It is kind of weird, Andre. Stop being weird, Andre. She's a 14-year-old girl, Andre. You have to stop. Then for a moment, everybody thinks Adrian's arrived until they realize it's that loser who cosplays as him and stalks him relentlessly. Also, the person he's meeting with is hugely rude and barges into Marinette, making her drop the innocent little ice cream. Oh, he died before he got to live. And thus he fully kills the vibe, and he's just... But it's back to Marinette, and I gotta say, Marinette in this whole scene, she's just so deeply cringe. 1, she refuses the ice cream. 2, she denies the power of the scoop, despite all the evidence of its success, simply because the boy she's stalking didn't arrive. How could you talk down about the ice cream? And 3, hello? Tiki told you she wanted ice cream. How are you going to do it like that, Marinette? How are you going to do that? How are you going to be so cruel?
Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really?
She then runs off, the others follow, ruins the evening, kills the vibes. Nino tries and fails to get another ice cream. Based. And Ivan, I guess the dude forgot that he's supposed to share the ice cream with his girlfriend because he scoffs it in one bite. Hey, you can't savor that. That's the pathway to brain freeze. Good luck, big fella. But yeah, in the end, she was being cringe, but she is a teenager. And there's a difference between a teenager being overdramatic and cringe and a middle-aged man openly sobbing in public because his ice cream was rejected. Come on, are you serious now? He literally is there weeping from sunset until dark. Also, that shot of Hawkmoth in his lair with the warm glow of sunset hitting him, that goes hard. That is a chef's kiss scene. That's peak. Anyway, Andre gets transformed into Glaciator, and he goes on a rampage, turning people into ice cream, but spares the couples because he's a romantic soul at heart. And then he wanders off calling out for Marinette, desperate to, I guess, make her see sense. Also, are these ice cream people just gonna melt and die? Damn. Does Hawkmoth have a way to reverse all of this if he does win and gets the miraculouses, or does he just think, shit out of luck, son? Will he do his own lucky charm and cleanse the Akuma himself and save everybody, or is he just a massive douchebag? Who knows? Marinette, she's back at home, having realized that she behaved like a massive dweeb and pretty much ruined the night for all of her friends. And while I've had time to think about it, she was a little bit cringe, but honestly, Andre did have it coming. Stop trying to tell her she has a true love and just serve the scoops, you weirdo. And here we come to the famous set of scenes that set the hearts of Marichat. Marichat? How do you say it? Because when you say it with the inflection, it does sound like Marichat. I hate that. We're going to say Maricat because I can't get through that. Maricat shippers ablaze for all time. Cat Noir, full of delusion, realizes at last that Ladybug ain't coming. And seeing Marinette over on another balcony, he makes his way over to talk because he considers her a very good friend, TM. And he doesn't want to be alone tonight. And here, Marinette learns that Cat Noir actually legit is into Ladybug. He's not just playing around. And when Cat Noir hears that Marinette has also experienced heartbreak that night, he decides to take her to the little place he'd chosen to have his date with Ladybug. Man, this scene is just peak, filled with so many classic shots and moments that really made this ship explode in popularity, I think, especially when he's carrying her. I really do feel like this is the episode that cemented Ladrian as the odd one out of the 4 Love Square ships. It just never really got its own moment or episode, did it? Right? And so, yeah, this scene, pretty cool, until Andre comes out of nowhere and attacks. So this is pretty near where her house is, right? So, does Andre know where she lives? Sus, Andre. Very sus. Glaciator sings a song because I guess he wants to sing a song. And Cat Noir gets Marinette to safety, which gives her time to transform into Ladybug. And when she arrives, all that sensitive, kindly Cat Noir stuff we just saw with Marinette, that's gone. Now he is a nice guy. That is not a good look, buddy. Snarky and cold, and all because she didn't turn up to a date that she already told him she wasn't going to turn up for. The dude even accuses her of playing with his feelings. But after he gets clobbered, and she apologizes first, not a great look, son, which very much feels off to me, he finally seems to get over it and apologizes himself. And then he pretends to be a couple with Ladybug, and since Andre is an idiot, he falls for this despite being yelled at by Hawkmoth the entire time. But their gambit fails as it turns out that Andre isn't even made of ice cream, but he's surrounded by it, so they need a new strategy, which... This is a very stupid one. Even by the standards of the Lucky Charms, which are often ridiculous. So yeah, they DIY a propeller, and then they connect it up to a motorcycle, and that shoots air at Andre. Shoots air at him at such a high speed that it rips off the ice cream somehow. I mean, it's not even hot air, it's just air. Okay, whatever. And then they destroy the scoop, and they fix everything, yada yada. You know how it goes. And then they finally have their date, Ladybug and Cat Noir. And Ladybug lets Cat Noir down gently, telling him, "Oh, I already have a crush on somebody else." Imagine getting rejected for yourself. It's so silly, but it's glorious. And he takes it pretty well, and it seems like that's that. Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But it does feel like after this, the writers thought, hey, remember that arc where he's rejected, doesn't take it well, but then he learns to let go and accepts that she doesn't like him that way, and thus, whilst he can hope for romance someday, for now, friendship is just as good, and he can't expect more than that. Screw that, let's make him pushy and weird about it at every single moment. This is peak Cat Noir. And it's also the beginning of the fall. And then they both get ice cream at the end that corresponds to the other. So, what is the consensus? Andre's magic, right? Imagine having the magical powers of ice cream prophecy and wasting it on shipping teenagers. Couldn't be me. Thank you, I will have the ice cream that has the lottery numbers, please. That'll do very nicely. And so, yeah, that's the end of the episode, and that's the end of the video. And so I would like to remind you these have all been my opinions, and I'd like to hear yours. What did you think of Glaciated? Did you like it? Hate it? I'm curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know.